Hello, welcome to each and everyone on behalf of Enoch, that is India Oracle Apex User Group, in this fifth Explore session. And this is Dr. Digvijay Sivirpura, the Enoch regional leader from Gujarat. Welcome you all for a yet another exploring session on Oracle Apex. In this session, we will be explore many things on Oracle Apex, and we are having an expert with us who will be sharing their knowledge and experience with you all. We have conducted many events across the country with the help of our Enoch regional leaders, who is doing great job helping the community of Oracle Apex. So before we move forward, that we start our session, we would like to give tribute from Enoch to our dynamic leader Joel Coleman. Joel have continuously encouraging Enoch with his passion and energy by chanting Muka, that is make Oracle cool again, but it always sounds like magical, outstanding, creating Apex. On behalf of Enoch, and we give our heartfelt condolence to Joel's family, friends, and colleagues at Oracle. Moving forward, so before we move, I would like to give you the brief about today's agenda. So first we will go to the get to know about the new features of Oracle Apex 21.1, and it will be presented by Thomarai Selvan and Tilak Kumar from 4i App Solutions. Next we will have a panel discussion, Apex Dental Digitalization using Oracle Apex, and then we have a demonstration of integration object storage with Apex on Cloud by Aminesh. We also have an important announcement at the end, so I request you all of you to stay till the end. So now let me just invite Thomarai Selvan and Tilak Kumar from 4i App Solution Private Limited for exploring the new features of Oracle Apex 20.21.1. Over to you, Thomarai and Tilak.
Good evening, everyone. We are from 4i App Solutions. This is Thomarai Selvan, who is working as a senior consultant in 4i App Solution. With me, Tilak Kumar MJ, who is senior Apex consultant. We are Oracle partner, and 450 plus consultants are working in our 4i App Solutions. And these are all the certifications from our Oracle partners. And we are spreaded along worldwide, and our clients are spreaded in worldwide. And in this session, we will see a set of new features in Oracle Apex 21.1. This is not limited, but we have more features we will see in apex.oracle.com. So set of new features like maps region to display the latitude and longitude in maps region, and then data loading for end users from bulk data load, and then faceted search enhancement for toggle faceted on and off, and then theme loader updates for Redwood theme CSS, and then native Markdown support for rich text editor, and date picker item type UI and UX enhancement, and security and improvements for item level as well as application level, and then developer experience for code editor as a developer point of view, and then reporting improvements for rich text as well as the Markdown field enhancements, and then some more additional features. First, we would like to see new data loading from the end user perspective. So earlier we have used some of the plugins to load data from the end user perspective. So in this version, we have data loading functionality to capture data from the end user side. So for this, limited to CSV, XLSX, XML, and JSON formats, we can able to load to our actual table or in the collections to move into our applications. So set of column mappings as well as some set of rules transformations in that column level. So let's see in the application how the data loading functions are available in our 20.1. So this is sample data load definitions in our 21.1. So we will see in runtime mode. I'm going to create one data loading definition. So in the shared components, you can able to see the data load definition. In the data load definition, we need to create some definition to capture the data from the end user. From scratch, I'm going to create. So I'm going to load some business locations into the table. So there is a two type of target type. One is table and another one is collection. I'm going to choose table for actual table. So here we are not going to create any table. This is existing table to move into the data. After choosing the table, we need to give some template to this data load definition. So I am having some set of predefined table structure with the location name, latitude, longitude, and office type, region. So this is the sample data to define the data load definition. So now I am going to drag and drop with the data load definition. So here we can see the source column and map to the column name with the it is depends on the Excel sheet. There is two options whether we are going to create a data load or we are going to create data load and add page for end user data upload. So now I am going to create add page as well as with data definition. So here we are going to choose data load definition here, which are recently created, and then upload data from file, and then the maximum file size is 5 MB. So the now page has been created with file browse option as well as the preloaded data preview of data as well as the page process is load data. Here you can see the data load definition with the business location sample which is recently created. So here the main option is the file browse. So here you can see the file browse type as well as the display as block drop zone or inline drop zone or inline file browse. So I choose block drop zone. When I run this page, so you can see the drag and drop with this format. Now I am going to choose another option like inline drop zone. So here the template has changed. So now I am going to choose actual data. So now I am having this data to import into our actual table. So once the data has been loaded, we can preview the data in the preview section. So now I am going to load the data. So the 40 rows are processed. We can see in that one more report option. So here you can see the data are loaded in our actual report. So this is the way how the data loads are defined in our Oracle Apex 21.1. This is the one of the new feature in 21.1. So next, one of the main feature in 21 is native map region. So earlier we are using some of the APIs or some of the plugins to display latitude, longitude or spatial data in our application. So now we are depending only Oracle Apex. They are giving the default map type, region type to display the latitude or longitude like customer location or street map and etc. So now we are going to see this in our Oracle application. So this is one of sample map which is created in 21.1. So the table structure will be so two number field for latitude, longitude to capture the address of the location and then maybe the location name or address. This is a sample object. Maybe you can create with different purpose for latitude and longitude. So for this, I am going to choose that show the business locations in our map. So now I am going to create one more page to see the office location, for example. So like a blank page. So the page definition will be a map. So here we are going to define the table of the map. I'm choosing business locations. So here these are all the options available in map region. So points, lines, polygons, heat map, and excluded polygons. So now I am choosing points. So we need to define the geometry column or two numeric columns. So now we are choosing two numeric columns, which is longitude and latitude. So these address are in our two number fields. I'm choosing longitude and latitude. So here the tooltip column. So when we mouse over on the map region, so it will show our tooltip. I'm going to create now. So here the page has been created. The region type will be the map region, and these are all the layers. So this is the office location layer. So in this layer, you can see the definitions. So column mapping. So in the column mapping, we are going to choose latitude and longitude, as well as in the page creation. So we have chosen latitude and longitude, and the main thing is point objects. So these point objects like map or house or street view kind of. So here we can see set of default icons. So as of now, I have chosen default icons. So here the shape scale will be 2. So it will enlarge the icon. So this is the map region color. So I am going to run now. So here you can see the maps are pointed in the latitude and longitude area. So here we have choosing the checkbox like office location to compare with another pointer. So now I am going to differentiate with the new locations, like this is the office locations. So I'm going to change the script of this. So again, we need to map the geometry as well as latitude or longitude. Okay, so I am going to create one more layer to differentiate customer locations. So now I am going to differentiate the pointer. So now I am going to enable the tooltip. So this is the advanced formatting. We can use some HTML expression here. We can refer our column name. So that's all. So here we can see the customer location and office locations are splitted. So when we mouse over, you can see the office locations in different part. So So this is the way maps are defined in our Oracle Apex 21.1. This is not limited. Maybe in future versions there will be enhancement. The next feature is faceted search enhancement. This is the toggle field enhancement in our older version, faceted search introduced in 19.2. In the enhancement is the more facets in enabled for facets region. So we will see this in application. So faceted search helps a lot of in our shopping cart example as well as some dashboard example. So here some of the facets are created for job, salary as well as department. So the enhancement is the toggle field has been enhanced for to see show or hide the facets. Here when we uncheck the job, so the facets are hidden and salary are hidden. So job has been enabled. So this option is enabled in 21.1. So how this is enabled means we can see in the advanced tab. So here you can see the display toggling or hide toggling. So when it will be useful means so all the users may not need all the faceted to search. So for this purpose, faceted toggling has been enabled. So we will see the next feature. So the next one is the theme roller updates. So we will see in this application. So the theme roller update enhancement is we can see redwood light theme in that theme roller, and then there are many options are enabled in the theme roller itself. So we can see the redwood options, pillar, layout, and then appearance and all. So in the inline view itself, we can change the theme roller redwood light. Okay, so the redwood options are now currently enabled as neutral. So I can able to change the pillar. Some of the options are available. So and then the layout has been introduced here in this 21.1. Sure. So the current layout is edge to edge. I can able to change into floating. So here you can see the floating region and then contained region. So these are the some more features enhanced in our theme roller in 21.1. So the next one is Markdown support. What is Markdown support? In the sense we already used rich text editor in older versions. In 21.1, rich text editor is there, but the definition is Markdown and HTML. Markdown and HTML, the main difference is Markdown stops the malicious attacks as well as the cross-site scripting in the application level. So in the HTML, it not block, it allows cross-site scripting as well as malicious attack. So we will see this in application. So this is item level enhancement. So this is Markdown. This is Markdown item. In the item creation, so the type is rich text editor, but the format is Markdown. So we have two options. One is HTML and then Markdown. So it looks like same only, but at the time of data stored in our database in the HTML format, but in the front end it will not show any tags. So here we can see some of the text in rich text editor. We can bold or we can heading. Okay, so when we inspect this text, you can see the HTML tag behind this. We like to show in rich text format, not like normal text. So this is one of the main feature in 21.1, and then the same Markdown as enabled in reports also. So if it is a reporting, we need to show the Markdown to in classic report or interactive report. So we need to enable that Markdown in interactive report column. For example, the location name is rich text. It's not a plain text. It is a rich text, means in the settings format we can see the Markdown or in HTML. So this is the main feature to show the display in the rich text content in that display only field or in report. So thank you all. These are all the some more features in 21.1. Maybe rest of the things our colleague Tilak will explain. Thank you all once again. Over to you, Tilak.
Hi, good evening all. Hi, this is Tilak. Next, we will see the item level feature in the new release. So in Date Picker, UI, UX, they have enhanced much more. In Date Picker, we have three options: pop-up, inline, and native HTML. This is the pop-up pop-up window. We can choose the date with time. Earlier version, we have the drop-down. Now they have enhanced the UI perspective to choose the time and date. So this is the inline date picker. This is a native HTML date picker. Here you can pick the date and time on the screen itself. So the native HTML is most useful for when application is using in mobile. So this will be more effective for the end users. And one more new feature has been enabled for the date picker. Before, we used to have a maximum minimum for each date picker. Here we have maximum date and minimum date. Before at the page loading itself, we need to define the item or static value we need to define. For dynamically, if suppose you are choosing from date, you need to restrict. For example, I am choosing 7th January. So to date should not be less than 7th January, means it is possible now. So before also it's possible, but before we did it by dynamic actions through JavaScript we done. By default now they enabled here. So minimum date I have given from date. That's why I'm not able to choose minimum date lesser than to date lesser than from date. So this is the date picker features. Next, security improvements. So in this version, they have improved a lot of securities, especially escape special characters. This option is enabled for in application items. Before we have in classic reports, interactive reports, column wise, we have the escape special characters. Now they enabled for the application items also. So in application items also, you can give the HTML, CSS code. If you enable, by enabling SK special character, it will show only the content only. It will not show the all HTML, CSS tag and all. It will not. It will not show you. Next, for external link also security added in HTTP. Same Tamari as explained before, Markdown format as defaulted in restrict editor. Before it, we have only HTML. Now by default, it will come as a Markdown. So it has more security. So in earlier version, we have 12 hours maximum session idle time. Now they have improved to 12 hours to 24 hours. So developer experience also they explored a lot. This is most useful for developers. In earlier version, we can take the application export with the zip format, but we can't able to import the file with zip format. Now you can able to import the application with the zip format, including components, pages, plugins that are not possible now. And in index creation, spatial index wizard is added. They have enhanced in index creation level. Code improvement, I will show you. Wait. So here a lot more features are added in this version. Show line number, show suggestion, show white space. So if you click white space means it will show how many white space in your screen. So this is a new feature, show suggestion. For example, we are developing some codes like procedure, some PL/SQL block or queries in our application. Means we might have made mistakes by choosing the application items. So for example, we are giving a where condition with mapping the Apex items means we will do some manual mistake. Thus that we can easily handle here. So while typing itself, it's coming in page level how many items are like starting with T. So all it will come. If you enabled this means the suggestion will show you how many items are you having in this page level. So that option is there. So Minimap they introduced in this version. Minimap is nothing but so you have seen the minimum level. If you are writing code like a 300 400 line means without doing scroll down you can select the area where you need to go, and the lowercase to uppercase character also you can change. So if you are right click means command palette will come here. If you type lower means so your text will be transformed by selecting this and select right click. So your all text will be changed to upper to lower. Same reverse wise you can change from lower to upper. Here you can go to if you are facing some error means so it will tell that line number, right? You have an error in 4th line means you can click this. So for shortcut you can press F1. So by clicking colon, and if you put 4 means it will take to the line number 4. So these are the features they have enabled in the code editor improvements, and new Apex APIs has been introduced and existing APIs has been enhanced. So for example, geometric they have added 2 APIs. You can add the location and delete the location by using these APIs. So report improvements. So lazy loading we have option earlier in auto text and all. Interactive grid also we have the lazy loading option. Now they have introduced in classic and interactive report. So it will boost up your performance by page level. So it will not take too much time for the long running query. In report printing, 2 languages they have added in Arabic and Hebrew. So if you're having the data like Arabic means if you're exporting the PDF means the Arabic content will come in this version. And variable height rows in interactive grid. So interactive grid they have introduced one new feature. See, this is interactive report enabled row height. The next report is interactive report disabled row height. If you disable the row height means the warp test will be there here. So it will take more space on the page. If you enable the row height means it will not take the warp text. So it will be very useful for the end user to display the records. An additional feature. So mainly the dynamic action enhancement is the most useful for the developer side. Why? Because earlierly we have a dynamic actions client side and server side condition for each dynamic action. Now they introduce the dynamic action condition in action levels. Okay, I have created one dynamic action here with giving the client-side conditions. So again, inside also I can give the client-side submission and the server-side condition, as well as authorization scheme also I can give here. This will improve your code performance also. Instead of writing multiple dynamic action, you can make it a single dynamic action. In action level, you can add more validations, or you need to add, you can add. So improvement in number field page items. So in number field, they have introduced a format by typing the amount here. We can have the format number format here. Before we have achieved by using JavaScript on low JavaScript on the cursor out, like that we will use. Now by default we have that options. In number format with currency also is available. For example, you are developing a site for shopping or marketing means, so this is most useful. So I'm typing 5,000, so it shows 5,000 USD, like that it will show. Next, color picker. Earlier version itself we have the color picker. Now in color picker, these three codes are they introduced. Wow. Hexa, RGB and HSL they have introduced. If you know some code name means straightly you can copy paste, so then it will be changed here. Due to time constraint, we could not able to cover all topics, all new feature. You can explore more feature in apex.oracle.com. We are available in these locations. Thanks for giving this opportunity. Stay safe at home and enjoy with Apex. Over to you, Digvijay.
Okay. Thank you, Thamara Selvan and Tilak Kumar, for the nice presentation. With the demonstration, which definitely help our participants to be aware about the new features of Oracle Apex 21.1. Moving forward to the session, now I would like to invite Dr. Rasmi Jaiswal, the founder, Apex Dental and Implant Center, with Balamuga Natarajan, the technology partner, Prowess IQ Information System, and Richard Dulby, the president of ENOC, for the panel discussion on Apex Dental digitalization. And here I would like to ask the audience, if you have any queries, you can raise your hands and our panel would love to answer your queries. Over to you, panel.
Okay. Yeah. So thank you, Digvijay, and good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us in today's Xplore session. This is our first initiative, like a panel discussion, and with a customer, with a happy customer. So this is going to be more interesting. Like they'll share their what are the things they have achieved through Oracle Apex, and we can learn from that how it is going on. So on behalf of ENOC, I wish to welcome our special guest, Dr. Rashmi Jaiswal from Delhi. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Dr. Rashmi, for joining us, for accepting our invite and joining our today's session. It's a great pleasure for us. So thank you. And so let's get into that. Like, yeah, one interesting thing is like we have heard about your dental clinics, and the interesting part is like your clinic's name itself is named as Apex Dental, which we are all very passionate about it. So because our tool, the technology tool, is also like Oracle Apex. So thanks for it is very nice to hear that. And we have heard that you have been for the past 10 years successfully doing this dental implant things, starting from a small clinic and now become a larger facility in multiple locations. So can you please give us an overview about your business and some introduction about you, ma'am?
Good evening, everybody. First of all, thanks to everybody for inviting me for this wonderful evening, for wonderful session. I'm Dr. Rashmi from Delhi. I'm a dentist. I'm practicing since last more than 12-13 years. I established my Apex Dental Center in 2009 in New Delhi. That time it was a small clinic with one dental chair. I was the only doctor. I wanted to scale up my center. Now we have 6 dental chairs, 5 full-time doctors, in-house lab, 8+ support staff, and my clinic runs on Oracle Apex powered software.
Yeah, maybe you can share your challenges, what you have faced over these periods, and how did you overcome all these things through technology, or maybe the digitalization of your operations.
When I started, it was a small clinic, and when I started multiplying my dental chairs, multiplying my staff, when it was difficult to maintain manual record, lots of risk of manipulation was there. I tried many Excel, many offline tools, but it was not going very nicely. Patients used to exploit many loopholes because data was not very much aligned, and I was not having no off-clinic access to my data. I was having very high material purchase cost, inventory leakage was there, and it was difficult to link the whole data, all clinical images from different machines. Patient scheduling, reminders, all those again were a big challenge. And manual prescription writing, and then all patients are not bringing them again. Then all record, all data used to get lost. So all these challenges were there when I started. Bala Muruganji, he's my technical partner, and he prepared a software for me for my clinic. Developed the software for my clinic, and with the help of that software, I attained all data protection, privacy. I can view my patient 360 degree. I was having all the clinical information aligned with treatment plan. Since I was scaling my center, I was having many doctors, and so many doctors, all slots, calendar management, reminders, patient scheduling, all those were very easy with this software. I was able to manage my clinical expenses. I was able to see where the leakages are there. I was able to do all vendor management. Lab interactions was very easy. So it became so easy that I could establish my own lab, own dental lab, our center. That was not possible without all this digitization, all this automation. With this software, inventory management became very easy. Before this, it was a huge task for people like me, who's a dentist. We are not trained into all these skills. We are doctors. We are not trained in all these angles. So this software helped me a lot in managing the whole every aspect of my clinic, whether it is repair or management, anything. And a very good feature that there is a report, and in that there are so many angles, so many analysis are there that I can understand how I can take forward my journey, and that helped me in developing my whole practice a lot.
Okay. So having said that, Bala, such a big challenges has been overcome, and can you explain the digitalization, in what way you have implemented, and what technologies you have used to overcome all these challenges for a successful operation? You are on mute, Bala.
Thank you, Richard. That was helpful, actually. So yeah, as I think you heard from the horse mouth, where Rashmi said that what problem she had. Exactly like this, we started off over a table that she was saying, what, hey, well, I don't have this, and then being a doctor, we were, our hands are tied up with this and stuff like that, right? So so a couple of things which she said was, she needed a solution which she wants to manage it, and she needs a solution which the primary thing was data security. She doesn't want to go with a common service provider. She wants a bespoke solution, a quick one, cost-effective one. So I couldn't think anything other than Oracle Apex. So it's all started off with a homegrown Dabba back at our clinic, and then luckily, like not I would say luckily, it's the power of Oracle Apex. I would say we started off with Oracle Apex 3.1, and when we were, slowly when Apex was growing, we were also able to support, Rashmi with all her requirements. So she was like, hey, what, I want my, patient databases to be up and running. Yes, we got it. And then she said that we want her patients to be intimated just three hours before her scheduled appointment time. Yes, we did it. I'm sure that the turnaround time, or I would say the footprint of the patients coming back to her clinic increased up. So REST API came in, we were able to support her, and thank God, whenever she was asking something, Oracle Apex was kind of supporting with a lot of patches and stuff like that. So as and when, if the one which you're seeing on the screen is an amazing piece of work, I would say. You click on the position of the teeth, you could see the teeth coming up there. So when she threw up this the problem that hey, when I want to click on the 30th, the 24th tooth, or the 25th, or the 36th, then immediately for that particular patient, that particular tooth problem, have to be identified and stuff like that. So it becomes so critical that the information for the doctor who's going to do that particular patient at the given time, because all this needs to be right in front of her palm, right? So Oracle Apex helped us there. We did this with a simple web browser, and then we were able to bring it up on pad and all the stuff. So I'm sure the clinic started to kind of utilize all those features. So again, as I said before, we started off with 3.1, and then when she went on to multiple locations, we had this challenge of going cloud. So we went on cloud, and it was a seamless integration. I'm sure that there wasn't any downtime. And after that, she went on to multiple locations. So cloud helped us there. Oracle Apex was cloud ready, and then in the recent days, we gave her, I would say, a sweet surprise that the cost on AWS is coming down to a fraction of it, a fraction of what she was going to pay for AWS. So we right now on Oracle ADP, and I'm sure Rashmi is happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's really a great one. Like, okay, having said that, like, Dr. Rashmi, can you tell 2 or 3 top benefits you have got from the system, or maybe a user experience or something? So can you tell some 2 or 3 the top benefits you have got?
Yeah, definitely. With all these digitization, it was like automation of my clinic, and with that, the whole it was very easy to command, very easy to control the whole all angles of the clinic. Being a single person there, I mean all doctors and all, so it was very it gave me 360-degree control over my clinic, and that helped me in multiplying my capacity and multiplying my chairs and multiplying my revenue multifold, and I think that is the base of any business, any entrepreneurship. So, best part was digitization gave me complete automation of my. I mean, it was very difficult, and when this COVID-19 challenges came, that time very easily I was able to gave digital bills, digital prescription, all protocol communication. All these were very easy with this software. Otherwise, manually, it was very difficult to tell everybody so many details, and it was very risky to give paper. And so now our clinic is completely a paperless clinic. We don't do anything with the paper. Everything is digital. So it's safe also, and easy.
So how do you notify your clients, like sending reports or any kind of related schedules? How do you?
We one is yes, appointment reminder is there always, one day before and same day also. And all bills and prescriptions we send, we used to send in mails. Whatever we write prescription in my software, the same prescription goes to patient. So we both have same data with us. All pictures, all X-rays which are relevant, we store, and then that also we can store in our software also, and we can communicate that to our patient also. So that way, it's a very good, complete record of complete data record of any patient over a very long period of time, because in dentistry we need to refer past of the patient, maybe after 4 years, maybe after 5 years, maybe after 10 years. So my patients are really very happy. I have not heard any clinic, any center, any medical facility which can record a data of any patient to that much depth that after 10 years, after 12 years, I can tell a patient that you came this day to my clinic, this time, this was the doctor, this was the job done, this was the tooth number, and this is what we did.
Oh, great. So do you retain the records from the beginning? So
very happy with this. They say, ma'am, you have all the records. You know everything what was done. We don't need to bother. You open your record, you open your software and just check and just before when we started clinic, we normally used to since we were giving a quality service, so we always say that if any filling we have done, any restoration we have done, and if it comes out in 6 months, we'll give you free of cost another filling. Or if we are doing any root canal and we are liable for next 8-10 years, if anything wrong happens with that tooth, okay, you will get that thing sorted out free. So initially, when all this data was not recorded in such depth, patient used to come and used to fool us. This used to say, ma'am, this filling was done here only. That was not. I used to tell them, no, this material I don't use. I have not used this material, so this is not our stuff. But they used to say, no, ma'am, we remember. So remember is not going to work. And when you are increasing the whole size and number of patients are so much data, so it is very difficult. You can't do practice on remembering things. So when it's are there in that recorded properly in the software, you don't need to worry. Just open your software and do your work.
Okay, so in that case, there's going to be a huge set of data, not only the raw data, I think more images and more reports, everything are going to be stored. So Bala, in this, how do you take care of this storage? Because it's not going to, from the beginning, they are not retiring or deleting any data, right? So, and considering the future, how do you take care of this?
That is true. So when we were on AWS, we were planning to put our data in the AWS S3, but then later when we planned to move to Oracle ATP, object storage came in handy. So again, as we said that the cost what we get on the object storage as well as the ATP is very minimal, I would say. And again, I would say thanks to Oracle Apex, because the kind of integrations they have with object storage was very seamless, and again the implementation was not hard like the way we had it with S3. So it was again the Oracle product, I would say, which helped us in doing this integration. much more faster and quicker. So there is no, I mean, we don't have any of the heavy static resources on the table, but we do push everything into the object storage. That's how we handle it.
Great, great. So even the storage, you have moved from AWS S3 to Oracle storage, right?
Yeah, when we migrated from AWS to, I mean, when we migrated our suite from AWS to the Oracle platform, we moved everything. Now we are, I would say, 100% Oracle product.
Oh, okay, nice. So have you come across any downtime? Maybe you or doctor can respond. Like some patients are waiting and there is no system working. Have you come across such situation? Okay, we are not able to take your history data and like that. Maybe both of you can. Anyone can respond.
I'll leave it to Rashmi to answer first, and then I will answer mine.
Yeah.
No, not really. I don't remember any such downtime. Maybe sometimes hardly half an hour, 20 minutes, 15 minutes, not more than that. I always got my software always ready. I never got any problem with that.
Okay, great.
Yeah, that phase on Rashmi tells that she never had a downtime. I would say that So this was way back in some time where it was.
I was not having actually hardly. Sometimes it happens for 5-10 minutes, but that gets sorted hardly in 10 minutes, not more than that.
Right. So that was way back when we had the Dabba back at home. So when we went on cloud, I think it wasn't the scenario, and now with ATP on, I think. We are 24/7.
Yeah.
Of course, there are definitely downtimes. We did a migration from AWS to ATP, and when we upgraded from 3.1 to 5.1 to 18.1, and now I think we are on 19.2 on ATP. I don't know whether everybody understood. I mean, if everybody just looked at it, ATP got upgraded to 21.1 now. So I think it's a rollout phase. So recently I saw in another client where we got a 21.1 upgraded in the ATP. So hopefully we will also be on 21.1 sooner for Apex Dental as well.
Great. So it's a happy customer. She hardly remember there is any downtime or such issue has raised like that, right? Yeah, I'm sure you're using this for quite a long time. Even now there might be some changes coming up, right? Some new technology or medically some change. You may need some change in the software. So how those changes are handled and how fast it is delivered, Doctor?
See, this software is
definitely there will be some continuous improvement, right, in any process. So in that angle I'm asking.
Yeah. It is a kind of very, very customized solution. From the very beginning, whatever I was asking, now I have problem with this now. So they keep on changing. I just tell them my problem. They get it sorted hardly in some hours, max a day. If any new thing I've asked. So it's not I know whatever I'll say. It is really very, very. Nobody believes on this, but when they say, how do you run your such a huge practice alone? How you manage everything? So I just say I have a very nice software.
Okay.
Without that, I can't think even beyond 1 or 2 dental chairs. But now I can do anything. I'm still going to expand it now, even outside also. So it is very much easy. You can control. You can manage everything. No problem.
Great.
I kept on getting all solutions. Whatever problems I used to tell Bala. Bala, right now I have this problem, my inventory is troubling me, or my report is troubling me, or I want to see from which angle I'm getting patients, and I want to analysis. So everything I used to get. So I don't think anytime in future I demanded that, okay, I want all OPGs, all X-rays, all things should be there in the software. Initially, we used to keep two separate. That came immediately, hardly 2-3 days, not 2-3 days even. At that time, it was lockdown was going on and all that. So
okay,
very fast and
yeah.
no.
So thanks a lot. Thanks, Doctor, for joining us today.
With Rashmi's permission, I just want to add one point there. So it's something like it's built over a period of like I would say 8 to 10 years. It's like we started off with a patient management, and then moved on to time management, and then we moved on to staff management, and then we moved on to inventory management, and then it's now a complete homegrown. I wouldn't say homegrown. It's a complete solution which is for a hospital to run. The best part is that the data resides with you. It's in the safe hands. So that's something.
Yeah. I have not seen anybody having all these angles at one place sorted in one software. So I'm lucky that way.
I would take this opportunity to thank Rashmi for giving me this opportunity. I would say that. Thank you.
So it's like a enterprise system, enterprise ERP kind of thing, right? Okay, great. Okay, thanks, Dr. Lakshmi, for joining us. Definitely, it's going to be beneficial for many Oracle Apex customers. And on behalf of Inog, we wish you a great success, a very good business in the future. Thank you. Thanks for joining.
Thank you, Richard.
Yeah. Thanks, Bala. Okay.
Thank you.
Over to Digvijay.
Thank you, Dr. Rashmi Jaiswal, Bala, and Richard for the panel discussion, and hope all the participants will get to know about some new features that the customers are enjoying the development environment. So let's continue our session, and now I would like to just a second. Let me just have the screen. Yes. Okay. Now I would like to invite Abhinesh, his Oracle Apex developer from Provises IQ Information System, for the demo of integrating object storage with Apex on cloud. Over to you, Abhinesh.
Thank you, Digvijay. So are you guys storing large data in database? So no. So you could use object storage to store data in optimal way. Today we'll learn how to integrate Oracle Object Storage with Oracle Apex. Before that, I would like to introduce myself in this session. Myself as Abhinesh, as a full stack developer at Provis IQ System. Along with that, I have completed my graduation recently. With that, last year I have started to learn Oracle Apex. With that, I have developed a few applications which helps to support fight COVID situation. Not only that, I got an opportunity to work in Provis IQ System. That's it. So let's get into the session. So the agenda of a session is today, what is object storage, and configure the OCA cloud and bucket storage. Let's set up the REST services in Oracle Apex and benefits of OCA bucket storage. Finally, we'll see the demo. So what is object storage actually? So object storage service is an interscale high performing storage platform that offers, that offers unlimited amount of unstructured data and content type, including analytic data and rich content like images and video. So in other words, I could easily explain you that if you are having a flash memory drive or something like that in a local, instead of that, you could store your data in the cloud format with your unique identifier. If you have the internet or something like that, you could access the data through the internet. So altogether, it forms as a storage pool. You can identify your object with your unique identifier. So how does the object storage work in OCA? So this is a simplified architecture which I have drawn, which I have made. So Oracle Cloud Infrastructure provide you various services. The most common services are API Gateway, Cloud Shell, Database, Email Delivery, Load Balancing, and Object Storage. Today we are going to see how the object storage works. So we'll focus on the object storage. So basically, when you are creating a OCA cloud account, you will be provided with your tenancy ID and your compartment root compartment. So in the root compartment, you will having your ATP. In the ATP, you by default you can create a database with your own preferred version of your database, and along with that, you will be having your Apex application with the newer version of the Apex application. Now till now we are using the 21.1. That's it. So here the object storage. What the ATP is doing is, when the time comes, we could set the time. When the time comes, by default the data in the database is being backup in the object storage. So using this feature is done by using the RMAN. So recovery management, this will automatically back up the whole data in the database. Not only that, you could fetch the pump the data. You could fetch the data in the object storage using the data pump. Along with that, when the Apex want to access the object storage, that could be possible. That could possible only using the OCA user. OCA user. So this user will be handling the object storage to integrate with the Oracle Apex. This process can be done by using the REST API services. So see, I will explain in this session how we are going to process this one. So, first, we will configure the OCA cloud and bucket storage, and to process this, first we have to create a compartment. This compartment will be able to handle so we are going to allow this compartment only for accessing and managing the object storage. So first we'll go in the navigation. First we'll go to menu. In the menu, search for compartments. In the compartments, just create compartment and enter the details and create the compartment. After creating the compartment, we will create the group. This group is mainly handled for object storage, handling the object storage. So same procedure, go to the menu. In the menu, you will be seeing the identity field. In the identity, select the group option. In the group, just enter the name and the details and click the group. That's it. After creating the group, we will create a policy. So this policy is important because the policy which we are giving here will be followed by the OCA. So go to identity. In the identity, there is an option called policy. In the policy, enter the name and the policy description. Make sure to switch on the show manual editor. In the manual editor, enter the detail of your process to be accessed by the groups. So instead of group name, enter your group name which you have created in the previous, and in the end you could add the compartment name and paste the policies in the policy builder and click create policy. After that, we'll create the OCA user. Here we'll create a user. We'll create the OCA user. Go to identity and go to users and click create user. In the users area, there are two options, user type. So first one will be Oracle Identity Cloud Service and another one will be IAM user. We are going to use the IAM user because this user will be able to handle the requests which are coming from the Oracle Cloud and the Oracle products. So this will be able to handle the requests in the Oracle itself. And in the name, as usual, you can enter the name, username and the description and click create. So after that, we are going to add the API key to the user so that the REST API will work based on the keys. So select the user which you have created now. In the below, you will be seeing the API key. Click the API key, add the API key. By default, Oracle will provide you private key and the public key. That will be enough for us. So just download the private and public key, which will be useful in later, and add the API key. After you adding the API key to the user, by default you will be shown with the default detail of your tenancy details. So copy this. This will be helpful while we creating the web credentials in the Oracle Apex. Just copy this thing, and in the final step we are going to create the bucket. Actually, what is bucket? We are using the new term here. It's nothing but it will be using the object storage namespace and store the data which are uploaded in the object storage in the object form. So all the data which are uploaded in the object storage is stored in the object form inside the buckets. So go to menu. In the menu, select storage. In the storage, select bucket storage. After that, you make sure that you are in the right compartment which you have created now. After that, create the bucket and then enter the detail bucket name, and the rest of the details are same, and click create bucket. After that, set up the REST OCI setup. Let's set up the REST services in the Oracle Apex. So in this, before we stepping into the session, just make sure you add sample data in the object storage, so that when the Apex try to send a request, in the response it should show some sample data which is stored in the object storage to know that the request and the response is working. So in the web, to add the web credentials, first we'll add the web credentials. Go to your application, select required application. In the application, select the shared components. In the shared components, you'll be seeing the web credentials. Enter your name and static identifier, and in the authentication type, set the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure authentication type, and in the default parameters, you enter the detail which you have copied from the user which OCA given us. Copy and paste the details here. In the OCA private key, you just copy the whole private key data without no space and paste the private key here. After that, click create. The web credentials is created. Now, if you are handling multiple buckets in the object storage, so the best option to optimize the bucket is we could use the list option. So we are going to list the available bucket services in the object storage. To enable this, we are going to list the buckets. Go to shared components. In the shared components, click REST data source and click create. After that, you set the REST data source type as OCA, enter the name and the URL. Make sure that you are changing your region as your preferred selected tenancy region, and in the namespace, you get the tenancy name in the tenancy details page, and paste the URL. And in the authentication, set the authentication, and in the credentials, select the credential which you have created for this object storage purpose and click discover. And then it will ask a parameter to be passed in the URL. We are going to pass we need the compartments, right? So we are going to set the parameter name as compartment, and in the value you are going to paste the compartment value and set this one as static. Switch on the static option and discover. By default, the Apex will send the request, and in the response it will list the compartment details which are available. We are going to use this Apex file storage compartment and click create. After we listing the buckets, we need the data. We need the data which are stored in the buckets, right? So we are going to create the bucket. We are going to enable the service to see the data inside the selected bucket. So now we are going to create the buckets. So go to navigate to shared components. In the shared components, REST data source and click create. After that, set the REST data source type as simple HTTP, and in the name list, give a name to your bucket, and in the URL, you are going to add 2 more parameters as bucket name. So you are going to add the bucket name. I have used as an application item, so that after selecting the item, it will show the bucket name and the URL will be passed here. So after loose focusing the this item, by default Apex will pass the URL and paste it here and click next. After that, it will be landing into the remote server, where you will set the bucket name and the URL and click next. In the authentication, same authentication which you have used for listing the bucket, select the authentication and click discover. After that, we are in the parameters, enter the parameter. First parameter, we are going to the bucket parameter which you have selected in the application item, and in the second parameters, these are the important parameters. We are going to list the name, size, time we created, and the unique identifier for the file. And then set this one as static and click discover. The sample data which we have uploaded in the bucket storage will be listed down here, so that will be shown here. That's it. So, and click create web source, so your data will be shown in the application. So the rest of the work I will show you in the what I have done in the work I will show in the demo. And these are the method which I have used in the web source, calling the web request. To upload a file, I have used the put method. To delete the file, I have used the delete. And to download the file, I have used the method for get. And for these three, I have used the common URL as this one. And the benefits of AOP. Actually, sorry, the benefits of object storage. So in the object storage, actually why we are preferring the object storage in the sense, mostly the data which are stored in the database is going to be expense as the data increases. So first we are going to store the data in the object storage because of the consistent data consistency. It can be, the data can be years of data, but object storage will provide the new data which we have uploaded. And the data durability, so we don't need to worry about the data after uploading the object storage, because even if your region fails in the OCI, you could get the data through the data redundancy from the other regions. So yeah, so you could change the region. That's it. In the performance, you could in the performance wise it is quite good, because it is not coupled with any instance. You could directly access the data. If you have the internet, you could get the data. And custom metadata, after in the upload process, you could attach some more metadata like your ID or something, your name. You could add before the file name. So these are the benefits of AOP. Then we'll see the demo. One second. Let's show you the demo. One second. So this is the sample application which I have made. So here I got a requirement here to upload a file. So I'm going to upload a sample upload here. So I'll click here. So this is one of the metadata here I have used. So I'll select one type which I'm going to use. And one second. And the file is going to be a teeth image. I'm going to upload the image. And I'll add a note to this image. So the note has been added. Now I'll upload this file. So the file has been uploaded in the database. So you could view the file and the note will be shown here. I have used some plugins to show this image as beautiful. And then you could see this in the list view or in the card view too. So you could see this. And I will show in the object storage. One second. So the first metadata is going to be the page number and the ID. Third one is going to be its type, and the fourth one will be my this image name. So if you see here, I have used in the page 2, right? So I will go in the page 2. In the page 2, I have used the teeth image. So this is the one which I have uploaded now. If you see here, my image has been uploaded in the object storage. So instead of storing your data in the database, you could use the object storage. So this will be an optimal way instead of storing the data in the database. So thank you guys for attending my session. Stay safe. Thank you. Over to you, Digvijay.
Oh yeah. Thanks Abhinesh for the informative demo for our attendees, and in the next session we will be exploring implementing an Xplore to manage workflows and using machine learning with Oracle Apex. So here we are at the end of the session, and I would like to thank the speakers who have shared their knowledge with the participants, and the panel also for the nice discussion. Last, I thank all the participants for your patient listening, and hope the knowledge which you gain will help you a lot. Thank you a lot, and Digvijay Virpura signing out. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, everyone. Thank you.